Hey guys, what's up? And today I'm back with another video, and this is part 2 to What If Naruto is a Full Uzumaki. So, uh, you guys really did enjoy part 1, and I don't intend to disappoint you with this part. So, anyways, let's just get straight to where we left off. And this was when Kakashi was about to ask Team 7 about their, for their introductions pretty much. And guys, right before we get started, uh, encourage your friends to watch my channel, and whoever you know that likes Naruto and Naruto fan theories. Make sure they get to know about this channel because we are pushing for 2K, and the more popular this channel becomes, the more motivated I'll be to make more videos. So, anyways, let's just get started. And so Kakashi, who's bald Kakashi at this point, uh, he asked Team 7 to introduce themselves, and then of course Sakura was like, "Why don't you give us an example by starting?" And of course Kakashi was like, let's see. My name is Kakashi Hatake. My likes and dislikes, you don't really need to know that. My hobbies, I shouldn't really be telling you. And my goals and dreams, I haven't really thought about them. And everyone's everyone's sweat dropped at this, and they kind of deadpanned at Kakashi, and they're like, all he told us is his name. And uh, Kakashi was like, all right, then let's start with you guys. So first, you start redhead, and then of course he was pointing to Naruto, and Naruto, he was like, you already know my name, and I don't feel the need to tell you guys anything else. And of course, Sakura was like, Naruto Baka, how dare you try to copy Kakashi Sensei? And she was about to punch Naruto, and then Naruto grabbed her fist, and he basically twisted her arm until her wrist was about to break. And then like, everyone was really surprised with this because everyone thought that Naruto had a crush on Sakura, but then obviously that was not the case, because why would he like someone so useless? So anyways, uh, Sakura howled in pain, and she was like, Naruto, stop, you're going to break it. And then Naruto was like, I guess I'll stop here for now, but if you try to do that again, I'll be sure to break it. And he left her. He left her fist, and Sakura was just gingerly rubbing her wrist and looking at Naruto, and she was like, "That boy is really a monster." And she was just thinking this because she didn't want to get in trouble with Naruto now. And Kakashi was like, "All right, that's enough. Now you next, pink hair girl." And then Sakura was like, "I'm sorry," and Kakashi was like, "You heard me." And then Sakura like just grumbled, but then um, she started introducing herself nonetheless, and she was like, "My name is Sakura Haruno, and my likes are." And then she looked at Sasuke and giggled a little bit, and then she was like, "And my dislikes are people who make fun of my hair, and Naruto and Ino Pig." And then she was like, my hobbies and interests are, and then she looked at Sasuke, and she squealed. And then she was like, my goals are, and then she looked at Sasuke again. And then Naruto was like, this is getting tiresome. What a useless goal, what a useless introduction or whatever. He was like, what a useless goal to have. And then Sakura was about to punch Naruto, but she held herself back because of Naruto's warning. And then she was like, how dare you? And Naruto, he was like, so tell me, are your goals or your interests or anything that you like going to protect you when you're in a real fight? And he body flickered right behind Sakura with a kunai pressed to her throat, and the kunai was about to draw blood, and Sakura could like feel the pressure of the kunai actually cutting her neck, and then uh, Sakura screamed, but Naruto was like, say I'm your enemy. So if you're going to tell your enemy that you like Sasuke, do you think they're going to release you, or do you think it matters at all to them that you like Sasuke? And Sakura just put her head down, and Naruto shifted over to Sasuke then, and he put the kunai to Sasuke's neck, and Sasuke was shocked, and he was like, "I didn't even sense him. I didn't even see him move." And then he was like, "Is this? How much power are you hiding, Naruto?" And he was just basically thinking this, and Naruto was like, "So let's try again. Are any of the things you said going to help you protect Sasuke, your precious Sasuke-kun?" And then Sakura was like, "I'm sorry." And then Naruto was like, "That's the underlying issue with this team. You're the weakest link over here. Both me and Sasuke are stronger than you, and you'll have to count on us for our help, and you won't be able to defend yourself at all on missions. Change your goals and your interests, uh, and actually do something which will help you improve as a kunoichi. Liking Sasuke is fine, but then don't make it your goal to be with Sasuke. Have more admirable goals." And Sakura was like, "I understand." And Naruto went back to his seat, and Kakashi was like, "Well, that was an a useful yet um, slightly unnecessary demonstration, Naruto, but I hope Sakura gets the point. Anyways, now you, Blackie." And he looked at Sasuke, who clearly didn't appreciate being called a nickname, and but he didn't really show it. And then Sasuke was like, "My name is Sasuke Uchiha. Uh, I don't have many likes, and but I have many dislikes. And my dream is not a dream because I'll make it a reality. And my dream is to kill a certain someone." And then Naruto was like, "What an idiot. It's not a reality yet, so it's obviously a dream right now." He's just thinking that. And then uh, Kakashi got a little bit worried about Sasuke, and you know, he was thinking, "I hope he doesn't turn into a flight risk, like uh, someone who like runs away from the village, like deserts the village pretty much." So he was like, "All right then, now that we all know each other." And Sakura actually interrupted him, and she was like, "We don't know anything about you or Naruto, Baka." And Kakashi was like, "Anyways, I'd like to see you all in training field 7 by 6 a.m. tomorrow morning for a survival test." And Sakura and Sasuke were like, "But we did many of those in the academy." And Kakashi was like, "Well, this test is going to be different because I'll be your opponent. Anyways, you all go home and prepare, and make sure you don't eat because you might puke." And of course, Sakura and Sasuke were kind of worried about what they're going to do tomorrow, even though Sasuke didn't really show it. But Naruto pretty much knew that whatever Kakashi had prepared, it wasn't really going to affect him. And then, of course, Kakashi body flickered away, and all of them started to walk back. And Sasuke was like, "So Naruto, what are your abilities?" And Naruto was like, "I really don't feel like telling you." And Sasuke was like, "How come you changed so much? You weren't like this in the academy. You're just the idiot who chased behind Sakura's back." And Naruto just laughed, and he was like, "Well, you'll figure it out soon, Sasuke-kun." And he just said that part mockingly before he body flickered away. And Sasuke was like, "What are you hiding, Naruto?" And he started to like slowly get jealous of Naruto because Naruto actually seemed to get all of these cool abilities out of nowhere. And Sasuke was about to walk home, and Sakura was like, "Don't pay attention to that baka, Sasuke. Now that we both are together, do you want to get lunch? Because we're a new team, and because we both are in the same team, and we can get to know each other." And Sasuke was like, and then he just left. And Sakura just went running behind him, but Sasuke just kept ignoring her. And of course, they went home. And before he went home, Naruto decided to scout the training ground in case Kakashi laid out some traps or something. So, of course, Naruto went to Training Ground 7, and actually, Kakashi was watching him. And he made sure he was like at a really far distance, and he was actually on top of a roof. And but then his eyesight was good enough to actually see Naruto, and he saw Naruto walking into the field, and he was like, this cannot be a genin. How does a genin have so much you know intelligence? I thought Sasuke would be the smart one, seeing the reports from the academy. And of course, Naruto didn't know that Kakashi was watching him because of how far Kakashi was. And Naruto went, and then he saw that there were no traps, and he actually threw a bunch of kunai onto the field, which he put a seal on, and he put a seal like tag to each kunai, which would explode in case there's any hidden trap or any other seals. And nothing like that happened. So Naruto basically collected all of his kunais, and he left. And when he was home, he met Karin, and he was like, "Hey Karin, how did your missions go?" And Karin, she was like, "They're going fine, Naruto. How about you? How did your how do you like your sensei?" And Naruto was like, "He's a bit of a joke, to be honest." And Karin was like, "Wait, who's your sensei?" And Naruto was like, "It's Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja." And of course, Naruto did do some background research on the Leaf Village, and he knew they're ninjas, and so he knew Kakashi. So, and he also knew that Kakashi was Minato's student, and this is why he had an extra grudge on Kakashi for not being there for him during his childhood when people used to bully him. But in this series, Naruto's childhood wasn't as bad because his grandparents actually taught him some basic taijutsu, and he was able to escape any villagers who were going to attack him. So, and of course he did get a few stabbed a few times on a few occasions, or like beaten up, but then it wasn't as much as um, in my other series, like in the generational genius one. So anyways, uh, so Karin was like, "Really, your sensei is Kakashi Hatake, but you said he's a bit of a joke." And Naruto was like, "Yeah, I said what I said." And of course, Karin was like, "But what do you mean? He's one of the strongest Jonin in the village." And Naruto was like, "Oh really? Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell that by how he was today. But I guess a shinobi's number one quality is deception. So he might be hiding a lot more." So anyways, Karin was like, I guess so, but Kakashi is never the one to portray himself as a joke." And Naruto basically told her the events that happened throughout the day. And of course, Karin actually kind of laughed at this, and she was like, "Anyways, Naruto, I'll make dinner, and I'll call you in like another half an hour." And Naruto was like, "Sure, Karin-chan." And Naruto actually said this by mistake. He normally just calls her Karin, but then this time he called her Karin-chan. And Karin actually kind of blushed hearing this, and she was like, "Does Naruto like me?" And she was actually like getting the feels for him now, basically. But then they don't like really make a move on it yet. So anyways, Naruto decides that while he waits for his dinner, he'd talk to the QB a little bit more. And he actually went to the forest of death because he actually discovered it during his academy days, and you know, uh, he actually um, he actually saw that it was a pretty good training spot where he could just kill a bunch of the beasts inside the forest of death, and it basically gave him good practice with his skills. So of course, Naruto went to the forest of death and he killed a bunch of large animals, and he actually made a sack to carry them and to carry their carcasses. So basically, he then meditated into his mindscape, and then of course he saw Kurama resting under his tree, and then he was like, "Hey QB, what's up?" And Kurama was like, "You're talking to me as if we're friends." And Naruto was like, "Hey, whatever. Anyways, you want some food here?" And Kurama was like, I don't need your handouts." And Naruto was like, "It's not a handout. I'm just offering you." And then Kurama was like, "No, I don't want it." And Naruto was like, "Anyways," and he collected a bunch of wood from the trees in his mindscape, and he actually lit a fire on it and started roasting the pieces of the carcasses, and he threw them to Kurama, and he was like, "Anyways, if you want these, you can have them, but whatever." And he left his mindscape, and Kurama was like, "Why is this kid being so nice to me?" And you know uh, his stomach kind of rumbled a little bit, seeing the food that Naruto actually gave him in the mindscape. And then Naruto, um, of course, he heard Kurama while he was about to go, and he was like, "So you really are hungry, huh, QB?" And Kurama, he was like, "Shut up, you brat!" And then Naruto just chuckled, and he left his mindscape. And Kurama, as soon as he left, he began to eat whatever Naruto gave him, and he was like, "Why am I giving in? I'm not supposed to do that." And then of course, Naruto just chuckled, like he could kind of hear Kurama talking in his mindscape, even though he was outside his mindscape now. And to his surprise, all of the carcasses he got were gone, and he was like, "I wonder how they went," and how they disappeared. And he was like, "Can I actually bring physical things into the mindscape like that?" And he was really surprised with this revelation. And Kurama actually told him that he can only bring non-living things into his mindscape, and not living things. And Naruto was like, okay. And he just left the forest of death. And I know, guys, this is not how the mindscape works, but then I'm just making it that way because it's my what if. So please don't diss me in the comments about it. So anyways, Naruto just decided to talk with Karin, and while having his dinner. And Naruto is still kind of dense, even though he's pretty intelligent. So when he saw Karin blushing while he was talking to him, to her, he didn't really notice, and then he just like kept talking to her normally. And by the way, Naruto and Karin actually slept together since they would do that since they were kids, and they didn't really see any qualms in sleeping together right now. And they have been sleeping on the same bed for the longest time, so they didn't really feel like any kind of sexual kind of vibes, except now because Karin actually had a crush on Naruto now. And but then she wasn't going to do anything without Naruto's consent. So anyways, they finished up dinner and Naruto went to sleep. And while Karin fell asleep, she actually put her hand on Naruto, like hugging him pretty much. And then Naruto was like, "Damn it, I don't like being touched while I'm sleeping." and I know that came out wrong, guys, but you know what I mean. So, anyways, he tried to shift Karin's arm off, and but then Karin was gripping him even harder, while he was trying to lift her arm off his chest, and he was like, "Damn it, it's fine. I don't need to wake her up over this." So he just, let her hug him as he was sleeping, and when he actually woke up in the morning at around 5:30, he actually saw that you know he actually felt a huge weight on top of his body, and he was like, why do I feel so heavy? And he looked up to see Karin's face right in front of him, and like a huge blush spread across his cheeks, and he slowly patted Karin to wake her up. And when Karin saw the position she was in, she also blushed really hard, and she actually got a nosebleed. And then, you know, Naruto was like, "Hey Karin, are you okay?" And then Karin just said nothing, and she, ran to the bathroom to, just clean herself up pretty much. And you know, um Naruto was like, wait, does she like me? Like, because this sign couldn't be more glaringly obvious, because um, Naruto's pretty dense, but then for something as severe as like a nosebleed, when someone looks at him, he knows that that's a definite sign, pretty much. So of course he starts thinking of this, and then he actually thought about it, and he was like, I guess I do like Karin that way too. And he's like, maybe I'll ask her out on a date later. But anyways, he got ready, like he ate, and he ate even though he was not allowed to, because he didn't believe the bullshit Kakashi was saying. So of course, Naruto went up to the training field to see Sasuke and Sakura, with their stomachs rumbling in hunger. And he was like, so I'm guessing you guys didn't eat. And Sakura was like, what, Naruto Baka, you ate? And then Naruto was like, well, of course, didn't you see through what he was saying? You think that you can actually fight a Jonin, an elite of Konoha, an elite ninja of Konoha, without eating your food to ensure that your chakra levels are high enough? And he literally made Sasuke and Sakura feel so stupid, uh, and Sasuke just grumbled, and he walked off somewhere else, and they were just waiting in awkward silence for 2 hours, except for Sakura, who was keeping on asking Sasuke out on a date. And then after 2 hours, Naruto finally spoke. He was like, "Number one, Sakura, you shut up. And number two, Sasuke, would you like to go Kakashi hunting with me?" And Sasuke was like, "What do you mean?" And Naruto was like, "Well, he's late, so do you want to hunt him down?" And Sasuke was like, "Well, sure, that sounds fun." And of course, Sasuke is emo, but then, he actually, you know, wants to see how what plays out right now. Like, remember that time when they all wanted to see Kakashi's face? It's kind of like that, but then, this time is better. Anyways, Sakura was like, "Can I come along too?" And Naruto was like, "Of course, but you have to be stealthy." And Sakura was like, "Yeah, I can be stealthy." And Naruto was like, "That means not asking Sasuke out on a date every few seconds." And Sakura was like, yeah, she went red in the face, and she was like, "I can do that." And then Naruto, uh, he was like, "All right then, I'm just saying." And then they all went off, and Naruto actually knew Kakashi's chakra signature, because Karin actually taught him how to sense chakra. And of course, Naruto could find him sitting on a bench and reading his makeout tactics book. And uh, he sneaked up behind Kakashi while hiding his own presence, and then he shot chains off his body, and these were the adamantine chains. And yes, guys, Naruto did get access to this jutsu, and I know it's kind of OP, but then you know his main use for it right now is Kakashi hunting, pretty much. So uh, Naruto wrapped Kakashi around an adamantine chain before he could even substitute himself, and this is really really fast. So Kakashi didn't even know what was happening, and uh, Naruto was like, "Alright, guys, now that I got Kakashi, would you guys like to come and eat something?" And Sasuke and Sakura was like, "Of course," because she was really hungry, and Sasuke just grunted and followed along, and Naruto's chains were holding Kakashi and binding him for everyone to see. And a few of the other Jonin looked at Kakashi's predicament, and they actually kind of laughed at him. And Kakashi looked at them pleadingly to not, for them to not pester him about this later. And the Jonin just winked at them, at Kakashi, and Kakashi knew that he was screwed when he got back to the Jonin. So Naruto, of course, he went to Ichiraku Ramen with Sasuke and Sakura, and he was like, "Hey, old man, give me 5 bowls of miso ramen and whatever they want." And Sasuke and Sakura gave their orders, and uh, and Teuchi was like, "What about him? Would he like anything?" Pointing to Kakashi, and Naruto was like, "Don't worry about him. He already ate." And Kakashi, he actually didn't eat anything because he kind of like just wanted to like test himself against these genin, like when he's hungry, and see how he fights, and see how they fight pretty much, so that he can like naturally hold back without um, without trying to hold back, basically. Like how people can't fight at their full capacity when they're hungry, right? So basically it's like that. So Kakashi was like, Naruto, and then Naruto, of course, he just sent another adamantine chain to wrap around Kakashi's mouth, and he was like, "Shh, it's okay, Kakashi." And then you know, Sasuke and Sakura actually ate, and they walked out of Ichiraku's shop, and they were parading Kakashi back to the training ground 7, and uh, Kakashi was like, "Will you let me go now?" And Naruto was like, "Alright." And then he drew a seal on the ground, and he placed Kakashi on it. And of course, this is the same seal that he drew when Kakashi actually showed himself as their Jonin Sensei in the academy. And Kakashi was stuck, and Kakashi was like, "No, not again! Let me go, Naruto!" And Naruto was like, "No, no, 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 no! You still need your punishment for keeping us waiting. You should really have more respect for other people's time, Kakashi." And Kakashi was like, "What did I ever do to you, Naruto?" And Naruto was like, he whispered in Kakashi's ear, and his Naruto was like, "So my father's student is asking me where he went wrong." And Kakashi's was just like sweating at this point, and it was showing on his now bald head. And he was like, how do you know?" And Naruto was like, "It's not that hard, seeing that I'm the only Uzumaki in this village, and I'm the only one with red hair, and I also share a lot of physical attributes with my father." And you know Kakashi was like, "Damn it, this kid is smart." And Kakashi, of course, he was like, "But please let me go, Naruto. What did I ever do to you?" And Naruto was like, "Think about it." And then Naruto was like, "Sakura, would you mind giving me your purse?" And Sakura was like, "Hell no, Naruto." And Naruto was like, "Anyways, I already got it. That was just a formality, Sakura." And Sakura just uh, was looking in confusion as Naruto's shadow clone threw her purse over to Naruto, and Sakura was like, "Wait, when did you get that?" And Naruto was like, "No matter, anyways." uh, it looks like this has a lot of nice stuff in here for Kakashi, and he grabbed a lipstick, lipstick cylinder or whatever you call it, and then he opened it and he removed Kakashi's mask off for everyone to see his face, and he applied the lipstick to Kakashi, and he applied all sorts of makeup like blush and eyeshadow and all that stuff, and and eyeliner, and he was like he rummaged through Sakura's purse a bit more, and he picked out two garments, and he was like, my Sakura, what do we have here? And these were actually Sakura's bra and panties. And then Sakura was, like blushed in embarrassment, and she was like, Naruto, Baka, give those back. And Naruto was like, I think these would look really good on Kakashi, would they not? And Sakura was like, no, I don't want that old man touching my undies. And Naruto was like, well, it can't be helped. And he actually um, summoned four shadow clones, and he told them to undress Kakashi and put Sakura's undergarments on him and seal away their memories so that Naruto doesn't have to remember a naked image of Kakashi. So the clones did as they were told, and Naruto looked at Kakashi, and who looked like he was wearing stripper clothes. And then of course Kakashi was like, Naruto, I'll kill you. And then Naruto was like, my, calm down there, Kakashi. Well, your sensei wouldn't want you doing that, would he? And Kakashi looked up at the sky and he was like, Minato sensei, I promise to protect your kid, but then I don't know how long it can last without killing him. And Naruto was like, alright, Kakashi, now could you please explain what the test is about? And then Kakashi, he was like, first could you release me from the seal? And then Naruto was like, alright. And then he was like, it has to be a fair fight, doesn't it? And then Sakura and Sasuke are actually laughing right now, and Sasuke wasn't even trying to hold it in, because no matter how much he forced himself, he couldn't stop himself from laughing. And Naruto was like, so you're enjoying this, aren't you, Sasuke? And Sasuke just quickly went quiet because he didn't want Naruto doing the same thing to him. So of course Naruto was like, it's okay, Sasuke, you can laugh. And Sasuke just was absolutely stupefied at Naruto's actions. And anyways, Naruto released Kakashi from the seal, and Kakashi was like, now that you're done humiliating me, this is the test. I have these two bells, and he picked out two bells from his ninja pouch, and he was like, if you guys manage to take these bells from me, you pass, and you have to take them by noon. And of course, Sakura pointed out that there are only two bells, and Kakashi was like, well, I guess that means only two of you will be passing. And uh, Sakura was like, no, I can't fail to fail this exam, I have to be Sasuke-kun. And Naruto already understood what the point of this test was, because he remembered when Jonin teams would actually come to the academy to talk about ninja life, and they always had three genin with them, except like when a genin was like absent or something because of an illness. But then he knew that genin and jonin teams always came in a team of three genin and one jonin, and it didn't make sense for Kakashi to put up this ridiculous rule. And when Kakashi was like, 3, 2, 1, start, and then they all hid in the bushes, and Naruto actually left a shadow clone, but Kakashi didn't know it was a shadow clone. And Kakashi was like, so you're attacking me, a bit reckless, aren't you? And Naruto was like, and then he just started engaging in a taijutsu battle with Kakashi. And even though Naruto was really good at sealing, he couldn't match Kakashi's taijutsu. And Naruto was like high chunin level, while Kakashi was high jonin level in taijutsu. So of course Naruto was outclassed. But then the fight went on for a while, and it was long enough for Naruto to go to Sasuke and Sakura and tell them, "Hey guys, the point of this test isn't to get the bells." And they're like, "How do you know?" And Naruto was like, "Think about it. Have you ever seen a team of Genin and Jonin with only two Genin and one Jonin?" And Sakura was like, "Maybe we might be a special case." And Naruto was like, "Why do you think so?" And Sakura had no explanation, and Sasuke looked at him like a little bit suspiciously, and Naruto just sighed and he was like, "All right, if you guys don't believe me, I'll be the diversion and I'll let you guys get the bells." And then I don't and if what Kakashi Sensei was saying is true, then I'll happily go back to the academy. And of course, Sakura and Sasuke were satisfied with this, and you know, uh, they decided to work together as a team. And of course, Naruto's shadow clone was destroyed by now, and Kakashi was like, "A shadow clone?" And Naruto sent another four clones out at Kakashi to keep him distracted while he prepared a sealing jutsu. And then he actually placed the sealing jutsu on a tree, and the clones were about to beat up Kakashi until he substituted himself onto the tree. And of course, he was replaced by a log of wood. And but he didn't know that this was a tree where Naruto placed the seal on, and he was like, "I can't move." And then Sakura and Sasuke, Sakura and Sasuke went and cut the bells, and they each held up one bell. And Kakashi was like, "All right, Sasuke, Sakura. Now that you have these bells, what will you do? Uh, will either of you give up one of your bells for Naruto?" And this time they actually understood what Kakashi was insinuating, and both of them threw their bells to Naruto. And Kakashi actually smiled at this, and he was like, "You all pass." And then he was like, "Now Naruto, please release me from the seal." And Naruto was like, "Thank you for passing us, sensei, but isn't it your duty as our sensei to train us?" And Kakashi was like, "What do you mean?" And you know, Kakashi was actually like stuck to the tree, like with his back pressed to it, pretty much because of the seal. And Naruto was like, "Hey Sasuke, do you want to practice throwing kunai and shuriken?" And then Sasuke was like, "What do you plan on, Naruto?" And Naruto was like, he whispered in his ear, and he was like, "Do whatever you want, just don't hit Kakashi Sensei." And Sasuke got what Naruto was insinuating, and he took out 10 kunai, like 5 in each hand, and he threw them all at Kakashi, and all of them like went like missed him by a millimeter. And Kakashi was just like stuck there, and he was like really scared, like scared for his life right now. And then Naruto was like, "This is good training, isn't it, Sensei?" And Kakashi was like, "Naruto, once I get my hands on you, I'll rip you to shreds." And then Naruto was like, "Oh, will you now?" And then he threw a kunai, and it landed right underneath, Kakashi's crotch. And Naruto was like, and Kakashi got really scared, and he thought he was going to be castrated by that shot, pretty much. And he looked at Naruto, and he with like expression of pure fear in his eyes. And Naruto was like, "And how exactly will you do that?" And Kakashi, uh, he was absolutely horrified with what team he got, and he was like, "At least that Uchiha is a good member of my team. They could have given me any other team. They had to give me this one." And he was like, "Oh wait, I asked for this team, the last Uchiha and my sensei's legacy." I can't believe they'd be this insufferable. And he was saying this to himself. And for hours, Naruto and Sasuke threw kunai and shuriken at Kakashi, like, and made sure none of them hit him, while Sakura was just watching them in amazement at what Naruto was able to do. Until she actually put a stop to it. She was like, Naruto Baka, how dare you try to look cooler than Sasuke-kun. And Naruto was like, but Sakura, I am cooler than Sasuke-kun. And Sasuke got pretty annoyed with Naruto using kun at the end of his name. And he was like, don't call me that, Naruto. And Naruto was like, oh, is Sasuke-kun feeling embarrassed hearing me add kun at the end of his name? And Sasuke was like, shut up. And then Naruto was like, oh, it's okay, Sasuke-kun. And then he basically grabbed Sasuke's cheeks in his hands and he pulled them. And he was like, oh, is little Sasuke feeling embarrassed when I call him Sasuke-kun? And Sasuke is just red in the face right now. But then he's like, get your hands off me. And Naruto was like, all right. And he released Sasuke and he released Kakashi as well. And Sasuke was like, he has the audacity to do that. I'm the last Uchiha. I'll show him who's better, who's boss. And um, Sasuke tried to attack Naruto, but Naruto caught his fist, and he was like, "Oh, an impromptu spar, Sasuke. Well, let's see how little Sasuke-kun will do." And he got into his stance, and he learned the Uzumaki fighting stance with his grandmother's and his parents' scrolls, and of course he destroyed Sasuke in taijutsu, and Sasuke tried to throw a fireball jutsu at Naruto, but Naruto just drew a seal which sealed in the flames, and Naruto was like, well, thank you, Sasuke. This will come to good use later. And Sasuke was like, how dare you? And Naruto was like, whatever you mean. And then Sasuke was like, how dare you insult the last Uchiha? And Naruto was like, oh, you're the last Uchiha. I thought Itachi was left as well. And Sasuke was like, you know about my brother? And Naruto was like, of course I know about your brother. I know what happens throughout Konoha, and except the official secrets that only the Hokage and the council know. And of course, Sasuke was absolutely baffled at this, and he and Naruto was like, anyway, Sasuke, I won, so let's go. And they basically like removed Kakashi from the tree, and Kakashi took his clothes and he was about to walk home, and Naruto was like, what are you doing, Kakashi sensei? I have to show you around the village. And Kakashi was like, no, Naruto, don't you dare. And before he could react, Naruto sent his chakra chains at Kakashi, and Sasuke was like, by the way, Naruto, what are those chakra chains? And Naruto was like, these are my Kekkei Genkai, Sasuke. And Sasuke was like, oh please, you don't have a Kekkei Genkai, you don't even have a clan. And Naruto was like, oh really now? And Sasuke was like, yeah, really, you're just a loser without a clan. And Naruto was like, oh well, believe what you believe. And anyways, I'll be showing Kakashi around now. And Kakashi was like, no, please, Naruto, don't. And Naruto just wrapped a chain around his mouth to shut him up. And he brought him to the other Jonin, and he was like, hey, Kakashi said that we passed his test. Anyways, I came to drop him off here. You'd like to hang out with him, don't you? And the other Jonin smiled at Naruto, and as he dropped Kakashi, and they were like, how do you manage to get his mask off? And Naruto was like, shh, that's a secret. And he body flickered away, and Guy looked at Kakashi and he was like, my eternal rival, what is this unyouthful garments you are wearing? And Kakashi was basically started sobbing, and tears like were coming out of his eyes in embarrassment. And you know Kurenai was like, that underwear is very revealing, Kakashi. And she was able to see Kakashi's, the shape of Kakashi's junk through the underwear. And Kakashi was like, please don't look at me, Kurenai. As he, went to another bathroom to change into his normal clothes. and he was like, I'm going to kill Naruto for what he did to me. And the other Jonin were like, well, it seems like this Naruto kid is quite a laugh. And of course, Kakashi was like, you don't know half of it. Just don't let him get near you. And everyone were like, why? And he was like, do you want to end up like how I did? And they basically were like, all right, we get the point, Kakashi. We won't go near him. And then Naruto, after all of this was done, he body flickered to Ichiraku Ramen, where he, decided to meet up with all of his friends from the academy. Hinata, Choji, Shikamaru, Shino, and Kiba, and he was meeting up with all of them, and he even decided to call Ino because Ino was never like that mean to him. So he was like, she might be a good friend, and he decided to call Karin this time too and introduce her to all of his friends. And uh, so basically he brought Karin there, and everyone like, who is this Naruto? And Naruto was like, well, this is along with me, this is the only survivor of my clan. And they were like, wait, Naruto, you have a clan? And Naruto was like, of course I have a clan. It's the Uzumaki clan. And they were like, what's the Uzumaki clan? And Naruto was like, I don't really feel like explaining it to you, so just read about it if you have whenever you have free time, if you're really that interested. And they knew that this was a touchy subject for Naruto, because he was the last member of his clan. So they decided to let it pass, and they just enjoyed their time. And they were like, so anyways, Naruto, how did you find Karin? And Naruto told them about their history, and he told them that Karin was living with him now. And they actually were like, oh, Naruto, you dog, you finally got a girl, huh? And Naruto, uh, he kind of blushed, and he was like, well, and he was getting flustered, and knew that this wasn't really the time to talk about something like that, because obviously Naruto and Karin didn't really talk about it yet. So she actually changed the topic, and they just kept talking and hanging out throughout the night. And by the way, Hinata is not jealous of Naruto in the slightest, because she actually has taken a liking to Lee, because she admires how hard he works even though he was born with no talent, and how strong he had become. And she had actually met him on a few times when you know um, when Naruto was actually hanging out with Team Guy. So of course, Naruto did hang out with Team Guy because Karin was on Team Guy, but then Team Guy actually said that they wanted to do some training. So they didn't come for the get together thing. So Naruto was like, at least Karin should come because I want her to meet my friends. And Karin said okay, and she came with him. So anyways, everyone, like, they knew that Naruto and Karin were kind of made for each other pretty much. And they decided to kind of help Naruto get together with Karin, because they knew he was a bit dense, like because they're friends with him. And of course, that was kind of the end of that. So anyways, after this, Kakashi gets a D rank mission for his students to do. And they do the first mission, which is catching the cat, the feudal what's it called, the fire country's feudal lord's wife, like her cat. And they had to catch the cat, and return her to the feudal lord's wife. So of course, they returned the cat, and she promptly escaped again. And then they kept doing missions to bring back this cat until Naruto got tired, and he placed two kanjis on the cat's neck band, or whatever you call it. basically their collar. Yeah, the collar. Yeah. So he placed two seals on the collar, and then he returned her to the feudal lord and feudal lord's wife, and then the feudal lord's wife actually saw the two seals on the cat, and she was like, "How dare you defile my Torah with your jutsu?" And Naruto was like, "Do you want her running away again?" And she was like, "Well, no, but..." And Naruto was like, "Anyways, I solved that problem. She's going to be a bit more, you know, calm now, and she's also, she also can't, um, run from anywhere around your house. Like I made a seal which extends uh, like in a circle around your house, and she can't escape out of that seal, and and this seal which I'm giving you allows you to actually keep a track of where she is, and if you put your finger on it, it'll actually make Torah stop, so that you can catch her whenever you lose her again." And uh, and of course, the feudal lord's wife was really happy with all of these changes, and it would pretty much ensure that Torah would never run away again. And you know, she decided to reward Naruto by giving him some extra money for the mission, and she actually paid him twice as much as she paid the others for the mission. And of course, Naruto was really happy about this, and he actually gloated to Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi a little bit, and Sasuke just grunted, and Sakura was like, "How dare you you try to be cooler than my Sasuke-kun?" And Naruto was like, "When will this banshee learn to shut up?" And of course, they all went back, and Kakashi was like, "Well, Naruto, what else can you do in healing jutsu?" And Naruto was like, "You don't really need to know that, Kakashi Sensei." And Kakashi decided that Naruto had some things that he wanted to keep to himself, so he didn't really press the issue further. And of course, Kakashi was still bald, by the way, but then a few specks of hair were starting to form, and he was actually never late again, like up to this day, because he didn't want to get Naruto's punishment. And you know. Of course, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura really appreciated this, and Sasuke actually whispered to Naruto, and he was like, "I wish Kakashi would come late a few times again. I never had as much fun as I did during the Kakashi hunt." And Naruto was like, he just chuckled, and he was like, "It's only a matter of time, Sasuke." And Sasuke just smiled at Naruto, but he was still like inside. He was kind of jealous of his power, but then he really liked Naruto's personality, and he decided that it would be Naruto would be worthy to call a rival and a friend, and his goal was actually to get to Naruto's level. And he thought that if he surpassed Naruto, he'd be at Itachi's level, and he'd be able to kill Itachi. And of course, this is wrong, because Itachi is way stronger than Naruto at this point. Um, Naruto's like high Jonin level, but Itachi's like S rank Kage level fighter, like multiple Kage, and of course, uh, Naruto's nowhere near the level of Itachi yet. So, anyways, now Kakashi decided to take a small break from the D rank missions, as they actually did 30 D rank missions, and they actually asked Kakashi to train them a little bit. So Kakashi obliged, and except Naruto, Naruto didn't need Kakashi's training, but then he decided to roll with it. But it was actually Sasuke and Sakura who asked for Kakashi to train them, and of course Kakashi agreed. And first, he wanted to teach them chakra control training, and he wanted to teach them tree walking, and of course, Sasuke and Sakura were like, "Wait, tree walking? But we can only climb trees." And Naruto was like, "He doesn't mean that. He actually means tree walking like this." And of course, Naruto demonstrated for them, and Kakashi was like, "Naruto, you know tree walking?" And Naruto was like, "It's a fairly easy exercise, and I actually learned it when I was little, so I could control my chakra." And Kakashi is like, "Is this why you're so good at Fuinjutsu?" And Sasuke was like, "Fuinjutsu, what is that?" And Naruto was like, "I'll explain it to you later." And Sasuke was like, "I'm tired of waiting for your answers, Naruto." And Naruto was like, "Does it really matter that much to you?" And Sasuke was like, "Yes." And Naruto was like, "All right, after this training session, I'll tell you." And Sasuke was like, "I'm holding you to that, Naruto." And Naruto was like, "All right." And of course, Kakashi was like, "All right, guys, you saw how Naruto demonstrated it. All you have to do is bring the correct amount of chakra to your feet and stand on that and actually attach yourself to that tree using your chakra and using the nature energy inside the tree as a medium to actually connect your chakra to and walk up the tree." So, of course, Sasuke and Sakura uh, were about to do this, and Naruto was like, "You forgot to tell them something, Kakashi." And Kakashi was like, what is it?" And Naruto was like, "You also have to have extreme physical ability in order to actually hold yourself up in that position." And Sasuke and Sakura did realize that Naruto was right, because to hold yourself in a position where gravity would pull your head, your upper body downwards while you attached yourself to the tree using your chakra. um, you know you need to have a lot of abdominal strength and all that stuff. So of course, Sasuke and Sakura kept this in mind, and they started doing the exercise. And Sakura did it easily because she has extremely good chakra control. And when Sakura got tired and Sasuke was still trying, Naruto walked up to Sakura and was like, "So you're extremely good at chakra control?" And Sakura was like, "I guess I am. Why?" And then Naruto was like, I think it would be good if you studied medical ninjutsu and genjutsu." And Sakura was like, "Why would you say that?" And Naruto was like, "Book smart people like you tend to be very good at genjutsu, and also since you have extremely good chakra control, I think you're a very suited to be a medical ninja." And of course, Sakura was like, thankful that Naruto actually was helping her out this way, and actually helping her uh, pick what to train in order to become stronger. So she was like, maybe I should train with Kurenai Sensei. And Naruto was like, "Oh, you mean that busty sensei of Team 8?" And Sakura was about to slap Naruto, but she remembered what Naruto did before the bell, like during the time when they all introduced each other, and she held back, but she was like, "Naruto, you shouldn't talk like that." And Sasuke was also looking at them, and Naruto was like, "I just had to test something out with Sasuke." And Sakura was like, What's that?" And Naruto's like, don't you think Kurenai Sensei is hot, Sasuke?" And of course, Sasuke didn't know what to say to Naruto right now, so he just nodded his head. And Naruto was like, "Ah, thank God, Sasuke. I thought you were gay." And Sasuke was like, "What made you think that?" And Naruto was like, "Well, so many girls in the academy were throwing themselves for you, but you never fell for them once, and you never even acknowledged them." And Sasuke was like, "That doesn't mean I'm gay, you idiot." And of course, Naruto was like, of course, it doesn't mean you're gay. That's why I proved it." And Sasuke was really pissed that this is why Naruto asked him that question. And Naruto just gave Sasuke a foxy smile. And Sasuke um, just went back to doing his tree climbing. And Sakura was like, "How dare you make Sasuke feel like that, Naruto Baka?" And she was about to punch him, but Naruto was like, "Did you remember my warning to you?"
and Sakura was like slowly put her hand down, and Naruto was like good, and of course Naruto's like, anyways, you have to train with Kurenai Sensei, and it'll be a good idea for you to train with Kurenai Sensei. And Sakura was like, you think so? And then Naruto, of course, he said, of course I think so. She's a Genjutsu specialist. And Sakura was like, "Of course, I'll train with her then." And Naruto was like, and also whenever you're in the hospital, or if you ever get a chance to meet the Slug Sanin Lady Tsunade, then you should try to get her to teach you medical ninjutsu. And Sakura was like, "All right, Naruto, thank you. I'll keep that in mind." And Naruto was like, "No problem." And Sakura, of course, she asks Kakashi, and Kakashi is like, "I'll teach you some Genjutsu, Sakura, and we'll conduct team meetups where we can swap senseis a few times, and so that we can get so that you guys can get training from all the other senseis as well, and not just me." And Sakura was like, "I think that's an excellent idea, Kakashi Sensei." And Naruto also nodded in approval, and Sasuke did as well. So uh, Sasuke uh, was really frustrated that he was the only one who couldn't do the tree climbing exercise, and Naruto then was like, "Sasuke, if you want any tips on how to do tree climbing properly, I'm always here to help." And Sasuke was like, "I don't need your help, you loser." And Naruto was like, "So I'm a loser now?" And Sasuke was like, "Yes, and you always were." And Naruto was like, "Says the guy who lost his entire clan." And Sasuke grew red in the face with anger, and he was about to punch Naruto, but Naruto caught his fist, and he was like, "Listen up here, Sasuke. I'm only telling you this because of your arrogance. You're not the only one here who has lost everything in their clan, except for one person." And Sasuke was like, "What do you mean? You lost your clan except one person? You don't even have a clan, you loser." And Naruto was like, "You sure about that? I'm pretty sure your clan has a library. Look through that library and search for the only clan that the Uchiha clan ever feared, and you'll find it." And Sasuke was like, "Fine, I'll take you up on that, you loser." And Naruto was like, and then he just left. And Sasuke basically trained till the night until he actually got the tree climbing exercise down, and he went back and decided to see what Naruto was talking about. And he went to the Uchiha library, and then he searched everywhere, and then the um, basically the shelves were organized alphabetically. So Sasuke was like, "All right, if that dope has a clan, it must be the Uzumaki clan." And Sasuke didn't know anything about the Uzumaki clan, but then he searched in the U section for Uzumaki, and he found a book. And on the very first page of the book, he it said, "If you ever meet a member of this clan, do not engage." And it said that in capital. It said that in like huge kanji, and so that the reader of the book could clearly see it. And Sasuke was like, "What do they mean? Naruto's clan is that powerful?" And of course, Sasuke was extremely jealous of this, as he thought that the Uchiha clan were the elites, and they were the best clan. And he read a little bit of the Uzumaki clan and saw that they actually had an ability to seal away the Sharingan of an Uchiha. And of course, Sasuke uh, was really scared of Naruto now, and he was also really jealous of how powerful he and his clan were. And he was like, but then he also felt sorry at the same time, because he saw that Naruto lost his entire clan. and he actually could relate to Naruto because of this, and he actually wanted to know about all of this from Naruto the next day. So he was like, so the next day when Naruto and Sasuke actually met, Sasuke actually went up to Naruto, and Naruto was like, Naruto, I'm holding you to that promise you made to me yesterday. Tell me everything about your clan, about you and your clan. And Naruto sighed and he was like, all right then. And he started talking about the Uzumaki clan, and he told Sasuke like about how feared the Uzumaki clan was, and what it actually took to bring the clan down. And Sasuke was thinking, no way. Only Itachi destroyed my entire clan, but it took 3 nations to wipe out his clan. And Naruto was like, that's not all, Sasuke. I also saw that one of my traitorous clan members was responsible for letting them know about the secrets of my clan. And Sasuke was like, who was it? It was a genin of my village. He was angry that he wasn't getting ahead in his ninja career, and at the first chance he betrayed the village secrets to the Cloud Village, who promised to grant him a higher ninja rank. And Sasuke was like, "What kind of stupid reason is that to betray a clan?" And Naruto was like, "I don't understand it either. What an idiot." But anyways, the traitor got ended up getting killed by the cloud ninjas who didn't want to leave any loose ends, and Sasuke was like, he got what he deserved. And Naruto actually smiled at Sasuke, and he was like, "You're right about that." And Sasuke was like, "So you're telling me that you saw several of your clan members die in front of you. How did you escape?" And Naruto was like, "I'm sorry, Sasuke. That's a story for another time." And Sasuke was like, "But," and Naruto was like, "No, Sasuke. That's the limit to which that's the extent to which I'll be telling you about my clan. About this, I can't tell you about it. I don't feel like telling you about it." And Sasuke decided that this must be really painful for Naruto because he knows the pain of losing a clan himself. So he was like, "But Naruto, just one more question." And Naruto was like, "What is it?" And Sasuke was like, "Are you going to take revenge for and avenge your clan members?" And Naruto was like, let me let you in on something, Sasuke. I found out this a long time ago. Rather than getting strong to destroy the attackers of my village and putting the entire world in shambles, I'd rather build up my skills to make sure something like this won't happen again and actually keep the peace between nations. And Sasuke was like, "Why would you do that?" And Naruto was like, "Well, that's because revenge does nothing." And Sasuke was like, "What do you mean?" And Naruto was like, "You want to kill your brother, is that right, Sasuke?" And Sasuke was like, "Yes, I do want to kill Itachi and take revenge and avenge the Uchiha clan." And yeah, so that's what he said. And Naruto was like, "So after you kill Itachi, what are you gonna do next?" And Sasuke was like, "I don't care what happens next. I just want to make sure that I that Itachi becomes a target of my retribution." And Naruto was like, "Don't you think it's a waste being the only one spared in your clan and not actually making a good name for your clan, and instead wasting your entire life chasing your brother and to hunt him down and kill him?" And Sasuke was like, "How can you say that? He killed my entire family." And Naruto was like, "So, if you kill him, will your family be brought back?" Sasuke was like, "No, but," and Naruto was like, "No, but Sasuke. Itachi is the only family member you have left, and I think you should try to understand the reason behind why he did it before you kill him." And Sasuke actually thought about this, and he was like, "But Itachi told me it was to test his power." And Naruto was like, "Listen, Sasuke, I know Itachi. He wore the mask of Weasel when he was in the Anbu, and he used to always protect me from uh, whenever people used to try to beat me up when I was a child." And Sasuke was like, "People try to beat you up when you were a child," and Naruto was like, "Yes, but that's not the point right now. The point I'm trying to make is that Itachi isn't the kind of person to just kill a whole bunch of people to test his own power. If he really wanted to test his power, why did he only kill the Uchiha clan? Why didn't he kill any of the other clans in Konoha, or even any of the other civilians in Konoha?" And Sasuke was like, "I don't know." And Naruto was like, there probably must have been a reason why he targeted specifically the Uchiha clan. And Sasuke actually began to think of this, and he was like, "Alright, Naruto, I'll think about it." And Naruto was like, "That's good, Sasuke." And Sasuke smiled at Naruto, and they went to the training field where Kakashi was waiting to train them. And Kakashi was like, "Now I'll teach you water walking." And Sasuke and Sakura are like, "Wait, you can walk on water too?" And Kakashi was like, "Yes, but it's a lot more difficult since the surface of the water is always changing, and you always have to apply varying amounts of chakra to actually keep yourself stable." And Kakashi was like, "Naruto, do you know this exercise as well?" And Naruto was like, "Yes, I do." And then Kakashi, of course, he was like, "Alright then, I want to spar with you, Naruto, and actually gauge your ability for myself." And Naruto was like, "So this time you won't be holding back, right?" And Kakashi was like, "You bet." And Naruto was like, "Does that mean you'll fight using your Sharingan?" And Sasuke perked up hearing the word Sharingan, and he was like, "What do you mean Sharingan?" And Naruto was like, "Why do you think Kakashi is covering his left eye?" And of course, you know, Sasuke was like, "I don't know." And Naruto was like, "Can't you sense the amount of chakra behind his eye? And also, even if you can't sense it, didn't you read up about the ninjas of Konoha?" And Sasuke was like, "No." And Naruto was like, "Come on, Sasuke, I thought you were trying to become stronger. I should at least know a little bit more about the ninja in Konoha." And Sasuke looked down, because he didn't really have a reply. And Naruto was like, "Anyways, Kakashi is known as Kakashi, the copy ninja of the Sharingan." And Kakashi was like, "How do you know, Naruto?" And Naruto was like, "Didn't you hear my explanation? I just told Sasuke. I did some reading about the ninja in this village." And Kakashi was actually impressed with this. And and he was like, "Well, that's correct, Naruto. I do have a Sharingan." And Naruto was like, "Although I feel that you look a little bit different from what your picture in the data book looks like." And Kakashi was like, "What do you mean?" And Naruto was like, "Did you get a haircut recently?" And Kakashi's face went red in embarrassment as he put his hand on his scalp. And he was like, "Ah, Naruto." And Naruto was like, "It's okay, Kakashi Sensei. It's gonna grow back. I'm pretty sure." And Kakashi was like, I'm going to shave all of your hair now." And Naruto was like, "Try it." And he got into his fighting stance, and Kakashi got into his own fighting stance as well. And they started fighting. And first it was taijutsu, and Kakashi took out his Sharingan, and Naruto knew that he was outclassed in taijutsu. So of course, he decided to go back and start using fuinjutsu slash ninjutsu. So basically, he said, "Water style, water shockwave," and a huge, wave of water came out of his mouth. And Kakashi was like, "What is that water, Naruto? It looks murky." And Naruto just smirked at Kakashi as Kakashi was like, he's probably preparing a lightning jutsu to come after that. And he was actually on the water, and before Naruto could move, Kakashi tried to jump from the water, but then he found that he was actually stuck, and he was like, "Oh, don't tell me." And Naruto's like, "You're right, Kakashi Sensei. If you can see, there are tiny kanjis all over inside that water jutsu that I threw at you." And Kakashi was like, "How? How do you get so powerful?" And Naruto was like, it doesn't matter. And he slammed a chakra suppression seal on Kakashi's forehead, and Kakashi passed out. And Naruto's like, "Looks like I win, Kakashi Sensei." And Naruto then removed the seal, and Kakashi got up, and he was like, "That was pretty quick." And Naruto was like, "Hmm." And then Sasuke was really impressed with this, and he was like, I want to fight Kakashi Sensei too." And Kakashi closed his Sharingan eye, and he was like, "Alright, Sasuke, fight." And then Sasuke was like, "I want to fight you with your Sharingan." And Kakashi was like, I don't think you're at that level yet, Sasuke." And Sasuke was like, "I'll show you. I'll force you to use your Sharingan." And they started fighting, and it was pretty clear that Sasuke was pretty outclassed, and he ended up with his head buried in the ground. And you know Kakashi was like, "That's what you get for being an arrogant little fool." And because Sasuke was actually being really arrogant throughout the fight, saying that he's an Uchiha and he's more powerful and stuff. And Kakashi showed him his place, and he was like, "Naruto himself is so much stronger than Kakashi. How am I so much weaker? How is Naruto even a genin?" And of course, uh, Naruto was like, "It's okay, Sasuke, you'll get there." And Sasuke decided to take Naruto's hand, and allow himself to be pulled out of the earth. And they continued their training. And Naruto's like, "Kakashi, I want to do a chakra control exercise." And Kakashi was like, "What do you want to do, Naruto?" And Naruto started walking on the water, but with his hands. And Naruto's like, "Kakashi, I want you to unleash all of your chakra into this water and make it move vigorously." And Kakashi was like, I see what you're doing. Since you already know how to do this with your feet, I want to see if you can do it with your hands as well." And Naruto was like, "Of course." And Kakashi was like, "All right then." And he, you know, put his hands into the chakra, into the water, and started, um, pumping his chakra through the water. And the water was like, uh, raging, or whatever you call it. Like, it is basically like splashing around a lot. And Naruto was actually finding it really difficult to maintain control, but he actually gritted his teeth, and he managed to do it. And of course, Kakashi stopped after a few minutes, and he said that he needs to take a break. And Naruto just nodded. And and then Naruto and Kakashi kept sparring, and Kakashi actually told Naruto not to use any Fuin Jutsu, and he wanted to see how skilled Naruto is with ninjutsu. And Naruto accepted the challenge. And you know first he did a water style water shockwave, but in this one it was clear water, and there were no kanjis. So Kakashi was like, I presume you're going to use a lightning release jutsu." And Naruto was like, "Actually, no, I don't have lightning release yet, but I have this." And he was like, "Wind style, wind scythe." And then he basically brought his hands together as crescents of wind cut through the air at Kakashi, and Kakashi actually substituted himself. And Naruto said, "Fire style, fire stream," as a fire stream jetted out of Naruto's mouth, and almost wrapped itself around Kakashi. But then Kakashi substituted again, and Naruto's like, "The damn substitution jutsu." and he engaged in a taijutsu fight, but it was clear that Kakashi like badly outclassed Naruto in taijutsu. Because remember, Naruto is only a ceiling kind of guy right now. He doesn't know that much taijutsu, and even his ninjutsu repertoire isn't that impressive. And for Genin, both his taijutsu and ninjutsu are really impressive. But when he's fighting a Jonin, he's pretty outclassed. So of course, Kakashi ends up beating Naruto the same way he beat Sasuke, and he was like, "Looks like finally I get to give you your haircut, Naruto." And Naruto was like, "Hmm," and then he poofed into a shadow clone, and Kakashi was like, "I see. So you substituted yourself with a shadow clone." And Naruto was like, yes, it was at the last second, Kakashi Sensei, but I accept defeat. I know I'm not going to be able to defeat you in this kind of battle." And Kakashi was like, so you know your limitations." And Naruto was like, "Yes, I do." And also, I don't want to be in that same position and let you give me a haircut. I like my hair as it is now. And Kakashi laughed, and he was like, "I'll get you one day, Naruto." And Naruto was like, "Maybe one day." And he continued chatting with Sasuke and Sakura as the training that day was over. And they continued doing chakra control exercises for like a week. And in the second week, Kakashi said, "All right, guys, now I'm going to teach you how to improve your chakra reserves." And uh, Sasuke and all of them were really excited about this. Like even Naruto was, because he knew that the ninjas, a ninja always needed to have high reserves of chakra in order to actually outlast an opponent. Even if they can't beat the opponent because the opponent has more techniques and better techniques, if they're able to outlast the opponent by having more chakra than them, then they might actually win a fight. So of course, Kakashi was like, "All right then. So tell me, what is the worst thing a ninja can do, and what is the stupidest thing a ninja can do?" And Naruto was like, mind if I say what I think that is?" And Kakashi was like, "Sure, Naruto, go ahead." And Naruto was like, "It's to go on a diet." Going on a diet is the most ridiculous and stupidest thing a ninja can do. And Sakura was like, Naruto!" And she threw a punch at Naruto, and he caught her fist, and he was like, "So Sakura, what did I say I'm gonna do to you if you punch me again?" And Sakura actually had fear in her eyes, and she was like, "No, Naruto, please." And Naruto bent her wrist back until it snapped slightly, and Naruto was like, "Well, since you are my team member, I didn't break it completely, but I think that should be a good enough warning for you to not do that next time." And Sakura gingerly rubbed her wrist, and she actually, had a green glow in her hand, and she was healing her wrist. And Naruto was like, "Ah, I see. So you have been learning from the medical corps, haven't you? Or medical corps, haven't you?" And Sakura was like, she snarled at Naruto, and Naruto was like, he just chuckled, and he looked back at Kakashi, and Kakashi was like, "Naruto, why did you hurt your teammate?" And Naruto was like, "She tried to punch me, Kakashi Sensei." And Kakashi was just shook his head, and he was like, "Anyways, Naruto, can you explain why it's really bad for a ninja to diet?" And Naruto was like, being a ninja is not a joke. It's something that takes a lot of energy. And if someone try and a ninja naturally stays fit because all the calories they eat end up being converted into chakra, which is used to actually train and fight. And Kakashi was like, "That's right. you it's important that all of you eat healthy foods, and you eat a healthy amount of food every day. A civilian normally needs about 2000 calories every day, but then as shinobi we require 5 times that amount. We need 10,000 calories to actually stay you know in a fighting condition. And he was like, of course this varies with people with different chakra reserves, but for people uh, with chunin levels chakra reserves, uh, they need to eat about 10,000 calories a day. For genin level chakra reserves, it's about 5 to 6,000, and for jonin it's about 20,000. And Naruto's like, so you definitely eat a lot, don't you, Kakashi sensei? And Kakashi was like, I'm pretty sure you do as well, Naruto. And Sasuke was like, wait, what do you mean? And Naruto was like, my chakra reserves are no joke, Sasuke. Haven't you read up about the Uzumaki clan? And Sasuke remembered reading about it, but he actually like put the book down after he read about what the Uzumakis could do. But then he didn't read about them having high levels of chakra. So he was like, no, I don't know about the Uzumaki. I don't know that much about the Uzumakis. And Naruto was like, and he was like, but I read about them and the Uchiha clan and all that stuff. So, anyways, Naruto was like, well, another reason why my clan was so feared was because Uzumakis have so much chakra that it's godlike. Jonin from my clan had so much chakra that it could be compared to the total amount of chakra of the five Kage. And Sasuke was absolutely shocked by this, and he was like, "How does your clan get to be so special?" And Naruto was like, "I don't know, Sasuke. That's just the way it works." And Sasuke was actually getting jealous because uh, Naruto's clan was this strong, and Sasuke was like, "I don't get it," and Naruto was like, "What don't you get?" And he was like, how come your clan gets to be so strong? It's the Uchiha clan that deserves to be so strong." And Naruto was basically glaring at Sasuke, and Kakashi was about to stop him, but then Naruto put his Uzumaki chains around Kakashi, and he's like, "Now's not the time to interfere, Kakashi Sensei. I have to educate this guy a little bit." And Kakashi just, was like, "All right, fine, I won't interfere. Release me." And Naruto was like, "All right then." And he released Kakashi, and he was like, "So, you think that just because your last name is Uchiha, you can go around prancing like you own the place?" And Sasuke was like, "Of course I can. I'm an Uchiha elite." And Naruto was like, "You read about the clan that the Uchiha clan fears, didn't you?" And Sasuke was like, "But that can't be true." And Naruto was like, "And why is that?" And Sasuke was like, "Because the Uchiha clan is the strongest." And Naruto was like, "Tell me, Sasuke, what is it that the Uchiha clan is the most proud of?" And Sasuke was like, "The Sharingan." And Naruto was like, "Alright then, say you were to lose your eyes in a battle, or you were in a situation where you couldn't use your eyes. What would you do then?" And Sasuke looked at him, and he was unable to form an answer. And Naruto was like, "See, this is what I mean. You dojutsu wielding clans are way too reliant on your dojutsus. If my eyes were taken, I'd still be able to sense my enemies and take them out like that. And my power, unlike yours, doesn't reside in my eyes. It resides in my body and in my chakra. And my Keke Genkai as well stems from my special chakra. Even if I were to lose all my limbs, I'd still be able to use my Keke Genkai. And even if I were to lose my eyes as well, I'd still be able to use my Keke Genkai. You Uchihas have too much of a weakness. Your weakness is pride." You're so proud of your Sharingan, but you fail to realize that the second your Sharingan is taken away from you, you're nothing. You're no different from another ninja. In fact, you may be even worse, since you rely so much on the Sharingan and you don't develop other ways to sense your enemies. And Sasuke was absolutely shocked at Naruto's evaluation of his clan, and he was like, "How dare you diss the Uchiha clan?" And Naruto was like, "Think about what I'm telling you, Sasuke. Don't become so prideful." And Sasuke is like, "Don't act as if your clan doesn't have a weakness as well." And Naruto's like, "It does." And Sasuke was like, "What is it?" And Naruto's like, "Why would I tell you?" And Sasuke was like, "You know my clan's weakness." And of course, Naruto said, that's after years of research about the clans of Konoha and what they were known for. If you were to research a little bit more about my clan, you'd know the weakness that we had." And Sasuke actually now decided to learn a lot more about Naruto's clan, and um, Kakashi continued training them until um, it was time for the first C rank mission. So, of course, Kakashi was taking them to the Hokage's office for another D rank mission first. But then Naruto actually went up to the Hokage and he was like, "Hey, old man, do you think we'd be able to? Um, do you think you can give us a higher ranked mission?" And he said this like diplomatically, unlike in the original, where he started shouting and screaming at the Hokage to give him a C rank mission. And Hiruzen was like, "Well, ever since the stunt you pulled with Tora, the feudal lord's wife's cat, we've actually been running low on D rank missions. So I'd actually be happy to give you a C rank mission. That's only if you're ready. Kakashi, could you tell me if they're ready?" And Kakashi was like, "Naruto and Sasuke are definitely ready for a C rank mission. I'm still unsure about Sakura, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do a C rank mission. And see it all the way through." And Hiruzen was like, "All right then, Kakashi, I trust your judgment. Uh, Anbu, bring in the bridge builder." And then Tazuna came, and basically he looked at Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, and Naruto was actually the tallest of the group, and he was actually you know close to Kakashi's height, and he was a few inches taller than Sasuke and Sakura. And you know Tazuna actually was like, "What, are these brats going to protect me?" And then Hiruzen was like, "Well, I'm pretty sure you'll find that they're very skilled, Tazuna." And Tazuna was like, "Huh, very skilled. They barely look like they can even hold a knife." And Naruto was like, "Well, do you think that you can hold a knife, Tazuna?" And Tazuna actually felt something cold on his neck, and then he looked to see that it was a kunai that Naruto was holding to his neck. And he looked back at where the original where Naruto was standing, and Naruto actually poofed into smoke. And Tazuna was like, "How did you get behind me?" And Naruto was like, "Well, I'm a shinobi. I have my ways." And Kakashi was like, "Naruto, stop intimidating the client." And Naruto was like, "Huh, you're no fun, Kakashi." And he basically, uh, moved back you know, uh, to Kakashi's to his team's side. And Tazuna, he decided that it would be best if he didn't make any jokes about them, or or make fun of them or something. So he gave them the details of the mission. And of course, Kakashi was like, uh, "All right then. Uh, so what time do you think we should leave?" And Tazuna was like, let's leave now. And Naruto was like, actually, I have an input here. I believe it's best if we leave in the morning because it's actually getting late today. If it gets dark while we're walking, we'd barely be past the village, and we can get attacked. And Kakashi was like, but then since we'd be close to the village, don't you think that they'd send help easily? And Naruto was like, well, that's true, but then, other than the possibility of attacks, our village is surrounded by forests, and we won't be able to make it out of the forest by the time it becomes dark, and we'll have to take rest. And the forest is full of beasts, and it won't be safe for our client. And Kakashi was like, so you believe that we'll be able to cross the forest if we start from tomorrow morning? And Naruto was like, yes, but we have to start near sunrise. And Kakashi was like, alright, Naruto, I agree with your plan. And then Naruto nodded, and Tazuna actually was impressed at Naruto's insightfulness. And he was like, alright then, so we start tomorrow. And Naruto went back home, and he got ready, and he packed all of his stuff into sealing scrolls. And of course, he actually wrapped them around his arms like bandages. And uh, Karin was like, so your first C rank mission, Naruto? And Naruto was like, well, yeah. And Karin was like, are you excited about it? And Naruto was like, well, of course, I'll actually go to the village, and it's actually close to our old home. The destination of the mission is actually close to our old home. And Karin was like, where was it again? And Naruto was like, it's we have to take the climb to the land of waves. And of course, Karin was like, I wish I could come too. And Naruto's like, "Don't worry, Karin-chan. I'll get back as much stuff from our old village as possible." And of course, Karin actually blushed when Naruto said this. And um, she was like the next day, as Naruto was about to leave, Karin actually called out to him, and she was like, Naruto. And Naruto was like, yes. And Karin was like, be careful. And of course, Naruto smiled at her, and he actually went up to her and kissed her on the cheek. And Karin this caused her to blush furiously. And Naruto was like, I hope that we can go on a date once I get back. And Karin was like, you bet, Naruto. And of course, Naruto smiled at her, and he left. So then Naruto met up with his team at the front gate of the village, and everyone was there, including Kakashi. And of course, they started, and Tazuna, he was really scared of Naruto because of him pulling that stunt on him. And but anyways, they just went on, and Tazuna turned to Kakashi, and he was like, uh, "May I ask what happened to your hair?" And because he saw that Kakashi's hair didn't really look like Kakashi wanted it that way. And Kakashi was like, asked Naruto. And Tazuna was like, "Who's Naruto?" And Naruto gave him a foxy smile, and he was like, I am Naruto." And Tazuna was like, "He did that to you?" And Kakashi was like, "And much worse. Please leave the subject aside." And Tazuna kind of chuckled, and they all just continued walking, and until they saw the puddle. And Naruto um, turned to and actually it was first Naruto who sensed the puddle, like the presence of the Chunins, who were hiding under the you know who were like going to substitute to the puddle, and he was able to sense the Chunin's presence, and he actually alerted everyone. He was like, "Hey, about a good 200 meters away, there are two ninjas with Chunin level chakra," and Kakashi was like, "Are you sure?" And Naruto was like, "Yeah." And by the time they finished talking about it, they already reached the puddle, and all of them noticed that it hadn't rained, and the weather was too dry for a puddle like that to just remain there. So, like even Sakura and Tazuna, who didn't really, know about the ninja world enough to see through stuff like that, because Naruto actually warned them, so they were on a higher alert. So, all of them noticed it, and Naruto actually put a seal on the ground, and actually from the point where he was standing, another seal appeared on the puddle, and Naruto's like, "Kakashi, you can use lightning release, right?" And Kakashi was like, "Yeah." And then Naruto was like, "I want you to zap the seal with your strongest lightning release jutsu." And Kakashi charged up his Chidori, and he rammed it straight into the seal, and the water puddle got electrocuted really bad, and the Chunins actually came out of their substitution, and they looked badly electrocuted, and they were still twitching, and uh, Tazuna looked at Naruto and was like, "Hey kid, where did you learn to seal like that?" And Naruto was like, "It's not your business. It's none of your business." And Tazuna was like, "It's okay. You don't need to answer. It's just that the only people who seal with such proficiency are Uzumakis." And Naruto's interest got piqued by this, and he was like, "You know of my clan?" And Tazuna was like, "Yes, I do, and I have even met a few members of your clan before." And Naruto was like, "All right, we're gonna have to talk about this once we get back to your home." And Tazuna agreed. And anyways, Kakashi tied up. I mean, while this is happening, Kakashi tied up the Chunin, and he asked. He basically interrogated them, like who they were after and all of that stuff. And the Chunins actually uh, said that they won't say anything about, and they won't give any information. And Naruto walked up to them, and he was like, "Don't worry, Kakashi Sensei, I got this." And he placed his palms on both of their foreheads, and a seal appeared on both their foreheads, and they began to speak in a monotone voice, and they were like, "We were hired by Gato, and we were after Tazuna, the bridge builder. Gato doesn't want him to finish the bridge, as it would spoil his economic or financial hold over the wave country." And Kakashi was like, "Very good, Naruto. Now, will there be any stronger foes for us to face?" And the Chunins said, uh, there's one Jonin that you might come across ahead, and he's working for Gato as well. His name is Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the hidden mist, and one of the X7 swordsmen of the mist. And Kakashi was like, "Got it. Anyone else?" And the Chunins were like, "He also has a subordinate who can use ice release. His name is Haku. You'll see him wearing an Anbu mask." And Kakashi um, was like, "All right, now that we're done gathering information from you, Naruto, would you like to do the honors?" Naruto was like, "Gladly." And he basically took a kunai and slit both of their throats. And his expression didn't even change, as though he had been killing for years. And Sakura and Sasuke actually saw this, and Sakura actually threw up seeing Naruto kill someone, and Sasuke actually went green in the face, and Naruto was like, "What's up with you, Sasuke? Suddenly changing colors?" And he was like, "I thought it was only your eyes that are supposed to do that." And Sasuke uh, was like, "You just killed him." And Naruto was like, "Isn't it your goal to kill someone one day as well?" And Sasuke was like, "Yes, but..." And Naruto was like, "If you don't have the conviction to kill these two enemies, how do you plan on getting the conviction to kill your brother?" And Sasuke was like, he just shook his head at Naruto, and they continued moving. And of course, they let Sakura, catch her breath a little bit and feel a little better until before they left. And then once they crossed the forest, they decided to go to a cave and set camp there. And of course, once they set up their camp, Naruto actually placed a barrier seal around it. Um, and then uh, Tazuna was like, "What are you doing, kid?" And Naruto was like, "This way, no one will be able to get into our camp, and also, if they try, I'll be able to sense them." And Tazuna was thinking, he was like, "Such proficiency." I wonder who he learned from, since the Uzumaki clan is extinct. And Naruto, uh, everyone started to take the rest, and they went off to sleep. And afterwards, the next day, they went to that little boat, which would take them to Wave Country. And the boatman took them to the other side. And once they got out, they were wrapped with a huge amount of mist. And Kakashi and Naruto both noticed that this mist wasn't normal. And Naruto was like, "Kakashi, this mist is laced with chakra. I think he's using the hidden mist jutsu." Or he was like, "I think someone is using hidden mist jutsu." And then Kakashi was like, "It's probably Zabuza." And at that precise moment, a sword actually came flying at them, and Naruto was like, "Duck!" And then everyone ducked, and but then Naruto actually didn't duck, but and he actually caught the sword. And Sasuke was like, "Naruto, what are you doing? You're the one who told us to duck." And Naruto caught the sword, and he took a look at it. And Zabuza was like, "Hey kid, give me back my sword." And Naruto was like, "A nice toy you got here." And he swung it around a few times, actually surprising Zabuza, because Zabuza thought that a kid wouldn't have the strength to actually wield such a sword. And Naruto was like, "Hmm, this actually is pretty cool. Too bad you'll never be seeing it again, Zabuza." And he actually sealed it into a scroll, and basically he kept it in his pouch. And Zabuza was like, "How dare you! Give me back my sword!" And Naruto was like, "Too late. It's actually at my home now. The scroll is connected to another scroll which I keep at my home." And Zabuza was like, "I'm gonna kill you." And Kakashi was like, "Naruto, this isn't the time to challenge someone of Zabuza's caliber." And Naruto just rolled his eyes, and he was like, "Alright, I get it. I'll protect Azuna." And Kakashi nodded. And Zabuza looked at Kakashi, and he saw the mask, and he was like, "Kakashi Hatake, is that you? What happened to you?" And Kakashi is like, don't even ask. And he revealed his Sharingan, and he started fighting Zabuza until he messed up and he fell into the water, and he got caught in the water prison. And Naruto was like, "Come on, Kakashi, you could have done better than this. You couldn't see that this shinobi is a water style user." And Kakashi was like, "Enough of that, Naruto. Come, hurry up and save me." And Naruto looked at Zabuza with like a cheeky smile on his face, and Zabuza was like, "What are you smiling about, kid?" And he actually unleashed all of his bloodlust at Naruto, and Naruto actually did the same while smiling all the same, and this really creeped out Zabuza, and he was like, how are you able to withstand my killing intent?" And Naruto was like, have experienced worse. And he's of course talking about the killing intent of all those shinobi who invaded his home in Whirlpool, and also the killing intent of the nine-tailed fox. And Naruto just kept walking towards Zabuza with a kunai in his hand, and he was like, so we're gonna have some fun, Zabuza. And Zabuza was like, what is a brat like you gonna do? And Zabuza suddenly felt something cold on his neck, and it was actually Naruto's kunai. And Naruto was like, "Do you really want to wait around to find out?" And Zabuza was like, "How did you get here?" And he looked in front, and the Naruto in front of him actually poofed into a shadow clone. And Zabuza was like, "Ah, I see. But how did you get behind me without me sensing you?" And Naruto was like, you tell me. Maybe you should have been a better shinobi then. And Zabuza let go of Kakashi's water prison, and and this was because he was actually rescued by Haku, and Haku actually threw a bunch of ice senbon into Zabuza's throat, and he was like, thank you all for giving me the right opening to take away Zabuza. I'm a tracker ninja for the hidden mist, and we have been looking for him for a long time. And Kakashi and Naruto both recognized, and everyone recognized this as the other ninja that the two Chunin were talking about, and uh, Naruto was like, as if we'll believe your act. And uh, Haku actually was like, what do you mean? And Naruto actually uh, he did the same thing to Haku as he did with Zabuza, pressing the kunai on his neck. And Haku was like, stop attacking me. This is going to lead to war between our villages. And Naruto's like, are you really going to pretend? I know you're working for Zabuza. And at this point, they all saw Zabuza breathe, and Haku like, shit, I've been found out. And basically, Haku tried to disappear, but he found that he couldn't. Like he tried to use his ice release to substitute himself and disappear, but he couldn't. And he was like, "What did you do to me?" And Naruto, I was like, "Well, I just placed a seal on you. I did the same for Zabuza as well. It's a chakra suppression seal. You'll not be able to use any techniques that consume chakra now." And Haku actually backed away because he was getting scared, as all of his techniques were ninjutsu based, and he wasn't really very special when he didn't have his ice ninjutsu. So Naruto was like, "It's okay, we won't hurt you. I think we'd have better use for you in our village." And Haku was like, "What do you mean? We won't go to your village?" And Naruto was like, I know why you must have fled the mist village. I know that the current Mizukage is actually wiping out bloodlines, and you know, Haku was like, you know about that. My entire clan died because of my ice release, because of our ice release, and Naruto's like, yeah, that's a totally understandable to leave the village, but in Konoha, you'd rather than being treated as vermin like how you were in the Mist Village, you'd be treasured as one of the strongest shinobi in Konoha, especially due to your ice release. And Haku was like, but why should I? I have a good life with Zabuza here. And Naruto was like, really? Would you call that a good life? Doing dirty work for untrustworthy people like Gato? I'm pretty sure Gato won't even pay you once all of this is over. He tried to find a way to kill you. And Haku mentally agreed because he knew that Gato couldn't be trusted. And he was like, give me a while to think about it. I have to ask Zabuza as well. And Naruto was like, alright then, while you do that, I can't have you as a threat to our mission right now. So, in case you make the choice that I don't want you to make. And Haku was like, I understand. And Naruto was like, alright then. And he actually pulled out a mason jar from his pouch, and this was actually reinforced with sealing. And then he basically touched the lid of the mason jar to Haku, and Haku got sucked in, and he pulled out another mason jar, and he touched the lid of it to touch the like the rim of it to Zabuza, and Zabuza got sucked into it as well. And Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke, and even Tazuna looked at Naruto with complete amazement at how much he had progressed in sealing jutsu, at going up to the ability of being able to seal people. And Naruto turned around and looked at them, and he was like, "What are you guys looking at?" And they're like, Nothing." And they just continued over to Tazuna's house. And then when they knocked on the door, Tazuna's wife, sorry, not Tazuna's wife, his daughter. Fuck. Anyways, his daughter opened the door, and Naruto um, basically Naruto and Kakashi introduced all of themselves. Like basically, Naruto's team introduced themselves, and Tazuna told Tsunami that um, they're all going to stay in his house until the bridge construction is complete, and you know. Uh, and then Tsunami is happy to have them stay there because they were protecting her father, and also they agreed to do a mission which was above the rank which was actually requested by the client. um, and then this was like the way that she could repay them. And I forgot to mention the part where you know uh, Kakashi questions Tazuna about lying to them and all that stuff. And so I'm just going to mention that part now. So when Kakashi asked Tazuna, and Tazuna told him the circumstances, like Wave being a poor country and them not being able to afford it, um, Naruto then piped up and he was like, "Look, Tazuna, the problem with this mission is not you being is not you being unable to afford it. It's about the rank and the power of the team or the squad sent to protect you. When you ask the Hokage for a C rank mission, there's a certain expectation that lies with the level of enemies that you encounter in such a mission. In a C rank mission, the only expected enemies to run into are bandits or any low level shinobi, not chunins or jonins. the mission that you asked us to do is actually an A rank mission. And if you told the Hokage about your inability to pay for an A rank mission, the Hokage would have surely understood, as he is a kind and understanding man. And then Tazuna apologized to all of them, and Kakashi asked them if they wanted to continue, and all of them agreed. So they all continued. So, anyways, enough of that little anecdote there. Um, they all settled into Tsunami's house, and this time no one was injured or drained because Naruto pretty much took care of everything. And Kakashi was just slightly tired because he used a Sharingan, but then he would get over it like by the next day. So everything was fine. And when they all were eating food, Inari came out and he was like, "Look at all of you, pathetic excuses for heroes. You should just run away, otherwise Gato is going to kill you." And Naruto looked at him and he was like, big words coming from you, little brat. Who are you to tell us that we can't take care of Gato? And Inari was like, you all don't know what it's like to feel pain and loss. Instead of experiencing instead of experiencing it, you all live sheltered lives in your nice little shinobi villages. And then Naruto looked at Inari, and he was really pissed off, but he didn't let it show. And he was like, "Say, Inari, would you like to come with me for a minute? I'd like to show you something." And Inari uh, looked at the other three ninjas, and Kakashi was silently shaking his head. And but Inari's curiosity got the better of him, and he went with Naruto. And Naruto brought him to the woods, and uh, he was like, "Inari, would you like to experience the life of the shinobi?" And Inari was like, "Hmm, I'm pretty sure it's all easy for you guys." And Naruto was like, "All right then, I'll show you what shinobi do." And he was like, Inari, now drop down and give me 100 push-ups. And Inari was like, what, 100? And Naruto was like, is that an issue for you? And Inari was like, uh, he was just like at a loss for words. And Naruto easily did 100 push-ups really fast, like within 10 seconds. And he was like, see, that's how easy it is for a shinobi. And this is not even close to training, that's just warming up. In real training, we do thousands of push-ups and thousands of exercises, as well as practicing taijutsu stances and and honing our skills in order to not die on the battlefield. That is the life of the shinobi. Either kill your enemies or be killed. And as a shinobi, we lose people precious to us all the time. And just because you've had it rough in your life doesn't mean that you can give up and start being a crybaby. And Inari started crying, and Naruto was like, at least you have a family who cares for you and looks after you. People like me and that black haired boy, we don't even have that. And even my sensei as well. We all lost our loved ones at the hands of other shinobi. And Inari looked at him crying, and Naruto just was like, hmm, and then he walked away. And Kakashi actually saw this exchange between Naruto and Inari, and he went to Inari, and he was like, "Look, Inari, Naruto is just trying to make you understand that just because something doesn't go well in your life, you give up. He wants you to learn to become stronger and make your ghosts from your past and like make you more stronger." And Inari. Uh, understood what Kakashi was trying to tell him, and he stopped crying, and he got a new respect for Naruto, and then he also got more respect for Shinobi as well, as he knew he wouldn't last a day living the life of a shinobi, and he respected the struggle a lot more. So, anyways, that was interaction with Inari. And meanwhile, while all this is happening, Gato was at his hideout, and he was like, "Damn it! Why haven't those two ninjas taken care of the squad yet?" And the goons were like, they never made it back, sir. And Gato was like, "Great, just great. What am I gonna do now?" And he just looked up and smiled, and he was like, "I'm easily gonna take those ninjas out, and then I'm gonna need you guys to help with that." And basically, the goons were like, "Yes, we will, Master Gato." Or what would they call Gato? Or they would be like, "Yes, we will, sir." And Gato was like, "Good." And basically, the next day at the bridge, Naruto, when Naruto was actually walking around the village with his team, he was like, "Hey guys, at the bridge, I sent about 1,000 chakra signatures, albeit they are very small." And Kakashi was like, "Looks like Gato got some backup," and he went to the bridge to see all of the people who were helping build the bridge cowering in fear, as Gato was standing with his thugs, and he was like, "All of you, get them!" And then all of them charged towards Kakashi and the ninjas, and Kakashi. And by the way, Gato was also like, anyways, that Zabuza charged way too much, and Kakashi was like, "All right, are you three ready to show them the difference between them and real ninja?" And all of them nodded, and uh, like even Sakura participated this time, as she did learn a little bit of fighting by watching Naruto and Sasuke. But then she only took like a few of them, like only three of them, while Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi literally ripped through all the goons, and they killed them all. And Sakura was actually having a hard time dealing the killing blow, even though she defeated the three goons with relative ease. And by the way, guys, if you're like not happy about Sakura being able to take on three goons, I mean, Sakura is a shinobi for a reason. Like, she's like, even though she's kind of useless, she does have some tricks up her sleeve. So, anyways, Naruto basically twirled three kunai in his hands, and he chucked all of them into the thugs' hearts. And Sakura threw up again, seeing all the carnage. And Naruto's like, "Sakura, you're a shinobi. Get a hold of yourself." And Sakura just silently nodded, and they all um, went up to Gato. And Naruto lifted Gato up by his collar, and he was like, "Look here, you little midget. It was because of you that this entire country had to suffer." And Gato was like, "Please, please, don't do anything to me. I'll pay you." And Naruto was like, "You're gonna pay me, are you? So, how much money do you have?" And I already placed a truth seal on you, so that you're forced to tell the truth. And then Gato told him how much money he has, and Naruto took a scroll, and he quickly wrote a whole contract on it, and he was able to do this really fast because he practiced his writing because of Fuinjutsu. And then he wrote it real fast, and he showed it to Gato. And he was like, uh, the contract basically said that Gato has to give over all of his assets towards the Wave Country, and 10 like 90% of his assets towards the wave country and 10% of his assets towards Konoha. And of course and the deal was that if he does that, they would send set him free. And Gato signed the contract, and he was like, there, no, no, let me go. And Naruto was like, hmm, we said we'll set you free. And then Gato was like, yeah, so set me free. And Naruto just plunged a kunai inside Gato's heart. And actually, he stuck a kunai inside Gato's shoulder, and holding Gato by the kunai, he threw Gato over towards the townspeople, and he was like, "Do whatever you want with him. He's definitely going to be set free after this." And if you didn't get what I'm insinuating, set free means like dying, basically. Like Gato's going to die. So, anyways, um, that was the wave mission. And of course, Naruto, the bridge was called the Great Naruto Bridge because Naruto did most of the work. And and then afterwards, Tazuna actually called Naruto into his house to explain all he knew about the wave country. And he also gave him a book that he actually got from them about Fuyinjutsu when he actually traveled there once. And Naruto was really happy, and he actually hugged Tazuna because any relics of his clan, he was happy to get them. And he was like, "Hey, Kakashi Sensei, would you mind if I go to my home and retrieve everything I can from there? I'll join you guys later in about 2 to 3 weeks." And then Kakashi knew that Naruto could handle himself, and he was like, "All right then, Sasuke, Sakura, let's go." And Sasuke was like, "Wait, can I go with him too?" And Naruto and Kakashi was like, "If Naruto's okay with it, yeah." And Naruto was like, "All right, come, Sasuke." And Sasuke went with Naruto. And Naruto was like, "So, are you going to tell me why you were so eager to come with me?" And Sasuke was like, "No reason." And Naruto was like, "All right, then keep your secrets." And Sasuke was like, "Just like you keep yours." And Naruto just smirked at Sasuke, and Sasuke returned the smirk as they, went off to the Whirlpool Village. And basically, Naruto looked at what remained of his old home, and he actually was a few tears actually ran down his face. And Sasuke was like, "Are you holding up good?" And Naruto was like, he took a deep breath, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And then he kept walking. And Sasuke actually came with Naruto to because he was curious about Naruto, and he wanted to find out as much about the Uzumaki clan as possible. And especially seeing that the Uzumaki clan was feared by the Uchihas even more than the Senju clan. And the Senju clan and Uchiha clan had the rivalry, so Sasuke knew about that. But then Sasuke didn't know that his clan and the Senju clan were so outclassed by the Uzumaki clan. And of course, Sasuke um, and Naruto went into the library. And Naruto, and this library was actually relatively undamaged because it was actually sealed from access by a non-Uzumaki. And this was actually done by the first Uzushi Kage, like the leader of the Uzumaki clan. Uh, and the seal was so strong that till this day it didn't go down. But Naruto actually knew the seal, so he actually um, unsealed it for Sasuke to come in, and then he put the seal up again. And since Sasuke was already within the barrier, it didn't affect him. So anyways, they both went into the library. And uh, basically, Sasuke actually walked off from Naruto and tried to steal some of the scrolls. And Naruto was like, "I know what you're trying to do, Sasuke." And Sasuke paused, and he was kind of like uh, freaked out about actually getting caught by Naruto. And Naruto's like, if you want to take a look at the scrolls, I will be happy to show them to you, but then don't try to steal my clan scrolls. Well, how would you feel if I did the same to your clan? And Sasuke basically gulped, and he put the scrolls back. And but Naruto, he basically took everything in the library using his shadow clones, and he actually used his teleportation scroll, like which basically connected that scroll to the scroll inside his home. And he actually put all of the books and scrolls he found in the library into it. And his room was actually flooded with all of the stuff right now, and it was literally packed all the way, and Naruto wouldn't be able to walk in. But he'd deal with that once he gets home. So anyways, Naruto was like, all right, then I guess my room would be full, so I have to redirect anything else into a different seal, a different scroll I placed in my house. And Sasuke was like, Naruto, how did you learn Fuinjutsu? And Naruto was like, are you joking, Sasuke? It's a specialty of my clan. How would you feel if I asked Sasuke, do you know the fireball jutsu? It's basically the classic. It's basically a classic thing for shinobi of my clan to know Fuinjutsu. And Sasuke nodded his head, and he was like, you could have just gotten straight to the point uh, instead of telling me all the extra stuff, right? And Naruto was like, well, it doesn't matter. And they basically went into all of the houses of the people in the Uzumaki clan. And Naruto was like, uh, pardon me for entering your home, but I plan to keep this clan's knowledge alive for the future generations. And he just said the silent apology to the people's homes who he was the people whose homes he was trespassing. And he basically took all of their scrolls and all of their books and all that. And he ended up with a collection even larger than what is in the library. And he was like, Karin will be pissed when I get home. And he basically put them into a separate scroll with a seal on it. And this redirected um, all of the scrolls and books into Naruto's living room. And Sasuke is like, how does your house have enough space to store all of that? And Naruto was like, it doesn't. That's why I'm going to separate them and sort them into storage scrolls once I get home. And Sasuke was like, pretty smart idea. And Naruto was like, maybe you should do the same for your clan's library, Sasuke. And Sasuke was like, I guess I should. And they both after they finished getting all the stuff from Naruto's home, Naruto's village. They decided to um, uh, and they basically went back to Konoha. And by the way, they also like got any kind of like equipment or fighting, like swords or armor or stuff like that. And Naruto sealed that into the scroll as well, and transported it right into his house. So yeah. Anyways, Naruto and Sasuke went back to Konoha. And um, that concludes the end of the wave mission. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and like, because this is going to be where I'm leaving it off. And if you did enjoy this episode, give a like, and share this video, and subscribe to my channel. And comment down your ideas for this what if, and your thoughts about this video. And also comment down any suggestions you have for future what ifs. And thanks for watching, guys.